Hey everyone, welcome to the sketchbook tour. So, I finally finished the sketchbook. It only took me about three and a half months. I started this in April 2023, and I finished it just yesterday, around midnight. So, July 28th, 2023. I started this project just because I've always wanted to draw the cookies in Oven Break, and I realized Kingdoms had a shit ton of other cookies that I could draw. And a lot of the designs are really, really pretty, so I decided to start this project where I draw every single cookie. I do take requests, but as every single cookie is going to get drawn, I ignore some just because I know I'm going to be doing them in my new sketchbook that I bought. Since there's so few legendaries compared to common, rare, epic cookies, I tend to do them in between big batches of the regular cookies, just so it's like a nice little treat in between. I don't play Kingdoms, I only play Oven Break, so I'm not very familiar with any of the Kingdom cookies. But I do like their designs quite a bit, especially Black Pearl Cookie. She's very pretty. I actually got an offer to buy the actual picture from it from one of my friend's parents, so that was pretty cool. But I think I'll keep it. Maybe make a print. I don't know. I'm very new to this. Some of the pages remained pretty blank with just one cookie on them, just because I ended up drawing it a little too big to fit a full design beside them, above them, whatever. I'm not too bothered about it. I just tend to use the blank space for little doodles or color swatches. Here is where I did the little, I don't know, PMV thing, so I just taped that off so you didn't have to see it again. My style for cookies isn't super on track with every single picture. I try to make them with big ass heads and small ass bodies, but as I'm flipping through, I'm sure you can see some of them just look like people. Timekeeper Cookie especially. I try to keep my style pretty similar in between, but sometimes you draw something and it looks good, so you keep going. Especially since there's over 200 cookies to draw.
Yeah, I mean, she was from up in Maryland, and all her family was there, as far as I know. I mean,
What's going on in your mind right now? What are you thinking?
I think Strawberry Crepe Cookie might have turned out the best in this entire sketchbook. Again, I don't play Kingdom, so I don't really know what he looks like in game, other than the reference pictures that I look up on Google. I think he turned out really cute. Wizard Cookie was the first one I did a background for, just because his design is so plain. I decided to spice him up. And whenever I draw to the side like this, I'll switch over to a horizontal look, just so you can see all of them.
a bunch of her friends came over yesterday night, around midnight, and they hadn't seen her since Saturday, so they were trying to find out where she was. They went in.
I really like the look of the overlay that I've done in the back of this book, especially when I can fit 2 or more cookies on a page, just to, fill up the pages a little more than they were in the beginning of the sketchbook.
Library studying or something, and we looked up in the study rooms on the 3rd floor, and there was no one there. And we came back, we looked around, and just tried to find anything to figure out where she was.
I apologize for the true crime that you can hear in the background, but alas, TikTok will not let you put in more than one song, so we're stuck with me listening to true crime in the background. Sorry about that.
First year, she had a little dog, a little brown dog that
Some of these I might redraw in the future, just because I either didn't have the right markers, or they were a little rushed, or I just didn't like how they turned out in the end, much like the first avocado cookie that I drew. So, you know, if there's repeats in the future, just, you know, enjoy. And here's my little OC. I'll flip quickly because he's not an actual cookie, but thank you for the fan art that I've gotten for him. They're really cute, and I saved them in my personal Discord.
we've been trying to figure out, and she has a boyfriend up in Atlanta, but someone called him, and he hadn't heard from her, and no one could figure out where she was. Yeah, she went over to a couple friends' houses, Jared Mueller and Joe Cairns. They live over on Walnut.
If you haven't seen the Princess Cookie Night cookie drawing, I did the screaming bit in the Peaches song when she was stepping in mud when I was coloring that. I think it might be the funniest bit that I've ever put in there. Cherry Blossom Cookie here got colored over because I forgot to put a bleed paper in between, so she'll definitely be redrawn in the future.
That afternoon, talking about like going out to eat or something, and the last thing that there was an email that she sent out after 10 that night, where she sent to, I think it was someone in Atlanta, a friend of hers in Atlanta, and she said that she was afraid in her apartment that she thought that someone...
I'm sure you can see that the cookies get bigger with the more details that I add in. It just stops it from being a little too cluttered or any of the details getting missing. The smaller cookies tend to be the basic cookies just because their designs are so plain. Like here with Frost Queen, there was no way I was fitting all that detail in half of a page. So, you know, detailed cookies end up taking up a whole page.
I could have done something. I could have lent her a handgun. I've got a little handgun that I have for defense.
My latest videos was Hero Cookie, Pilot Cookie, but they're in the middle of my sketchbook, which might seem a bit strange to some people. I tend to doodle out or sketch out a whole bunch of cookies once they get requested, and then I just come back to them when I have the energy or the time to line them, color them. It does take me a couple hours to do these cookies, so if you ever see a bunch of videos back to back to back, it was a very productive day. That doesn't normally happen. I'm sure I could have fit another cookie in with Lily Bell, but, you know, sometimes you just need a whole page to yourself, and that's fine.
No sign of a struggle, no sign that anyone had broken in, just nothing. She was gone. I mean, all of her stuff was there, her ID was there, her wallet was there, but she was just gone.
I actually had to resketch this raspberry mousse, raspberry cookie picture 3 different times because it was very hard for me to fit in a little dueling action with both of them. This, however, I got on the first try because they are very much boyfriends and they are very much in love, so they had to be drawn together.
And a few of the other friends, Burpee,
and this is the last cookie I have in this sketchbook. So please stay tuned while I fill in the new one I bought. Thank you for sticking around, and I hope you enjoy the cookies.